Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. The NBA playoffs are finally set and we are down to the last 16 teams this season as we head into the NBA playoffs this weekend, and I am back once again, even though there are no games on tonight. Set to give you a little bit of an injury update to some of the more crucial injuries heading in for some of these teams in the playoffs. No real big injuries, however, there are some that could be concerning if they linger into the playoffs this weekend, as they've been a little bit troublesome here late in the season. We'll start it off with the Portland Trail Blazers, who of course having real problems at the shooting guard position right now. Wesley Matthews, of course, out for the season. He's missed a while now with that Achilles injury. He'll, of course, be out for the rest of the playoffs. And Aaron Aflalo is set to miss some time as well. It leaves them very, very shallow at the shooting guard position, especially when C.J. McCollum was sitting out some games as well. I'm expecting that was due to rest, but the Blazers could be in trouble on the wing if they can't get some defense going in that opening round series. So could be very troublesome for them. Could be a weak spot, and could be something that other teams exploit against them here into the playoffs. So be very cautious of the Portland Trail Blazers in that shooting guard situation. The Memphis Grizzlies are also having some guard situations as well, as Tony Allen and Mike Conley are both dealing with some injuries. Tony Allen's missed the last couple of weeks, and no word on whether or not he's going to be ready for the playoffs or not, but him and Conley both extremely important. The Grizzlies cannot win an NBA championship or even get into the Western Conference Finals without those two guys playing crucial minutes. Both of them, of course, starters, and even though the Grizzlies do have some guys like Jeff Green and Courtney Lee that can take the pressure off of Tony Allen defensively, they do not have someone that can replace Mike Conley. So this ankle injury really a concern, I think, for them. If he's not healthy and ready to go by Saturday or Sunday, going to be a big concern here for the Memphis Grizzlies. Houston Rockets actually have an injury that they've been dealing with, and Donatas Motiejunas is actually out for the playoffs, and that leaves them just a little bit shallow up front. Even though Dwight Howard is back and been playing pretty well since his return from that knee surgery, they really don't have another guy to pair with Howard there at the power forward as good as Motiejunas was. Terrence Jones, I think, will be that guy. But he's not the outside threat that Motiejunas was, which I think is really troublesome. Even though he can shoot the three, he's not as good at it as Motiejunas. And Josh Smith, of course, is a downgrade from both those guys, I think, on this team, even though he's still a pretty good player. So the power forward position for Houston could be a bit of a concern. Probably not going to be overly concerned about it in the first round, considering they have to play the Dallas Mavericks. I think either Terrence Jones or Josh Smith will be very good defensively against Dirk Nowitzki, but either way, that could be a concern if they get past the Mavericks and head into the second round, so be weary of that. The Chicago Bulls, last on my list coming into this one, they have a little bit of an injury concern here with Joakim Noah, who's dealing with a hamstring injury and forced him to miss the season finale last night. Bulls don't seem overly concerned about it, but it is something I think to concern with just a little bit heading into the playoffs, because even though probably don't need Noah to beat the Bucks, they definitely need Noah to win the NBA championship. And also, as I mentioned in my other video, Derrick Rose left last night's game in the second half with some knee soreness. His left knee, that's the opposite knee that he had recent surgery on, but the same knee that he had ACL surgery on. So could be just a fatigue issue that he hasn't played in a while, trying to get back in the swing of things. His minutes were ramped up last night, so could be a little bit of a setback, but it could also be just some general soreness, and he could be fine by the weekend. So keep an eye on his status, but obviously with Derrick Rose, any sort of knee soreness is a cause for major concern here for the Chicago Bulls. But that'll do it for your injury update. Make sure you check out my NBA future odds update that I posted earlier today. But until next time, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.